Welcome to Factual America, where facts come first and narratives are exposed. Today, we're unpacking a question that's been bothering millions. Are the elites using inflation to control you? Inflation isn't just an economic phenomenon, it's a political weapon. It shifts power from the many to the few, subtly and steadily, while the media tells you it's all normal. It's not just about price tags, it's about freedom. In the past 2 years, inflation in the United States has soared to levels we haven't seen in over 4 decades. Groceries, gas, housing, it's all up. But it's not accidental. Some would argue it's by design. Inflation redistributes wealth. And guess where it goes? Up the ladder. While everyday Americans tighten their belts, billionaire portfolios have exploded. Elites thrive in chaos. They've built systems that turn instability into opportunity. Why? Because inflation doesn't hit everyone equally. For the ultra-rich, it's just another opportunity, another game to win. They diversify, hedge, invest. You cut coupons. While your paycheck shrinks, the elites are moving their wealth into assets that actually benefit from inflation. Stocks, real estate, commodities, even rare art. Inflation becomes their investment strategy. And here's the twist. Many of these inflation triggers are policy-driven. They're not just economic consequences, they're political decisions. Every policy, every stimulus, every rate change, intentional or not, reshapes the economy. Massive government spending, zero interest rates, artificially inflated supply chains, all decisions made by people who will never feel the consequences. These choices hit the working class first and hardest. The Federal Reserve plays its part too. When inflation spikes, they raise interest rates. That's supposed to slow the economy, but in practice it makes it harder for regular Americans to borrow, invest, or buy homes. And the elites, they already borrowed cheap money and bought assets before the hike. Now those assets appreciate while your costs climb. The game was rigged long before you sat at the table. Then there's corporate pricing. CEOs openly admit it. They use inflation as cover to jack up prices and boost profits. A loaf of bread doesn't cost more because wheat prices spiked. It costs more because they can get away with it. But the media doesn't highlight that. Instead, they blame vague supply issues or global instability. They speak in riddles, burying responsibility under jargon. Confusion is a tool, because when the public is confused, the powerful win. You can't fight what you can't define. You can't resist what you can't see. Now let's talk about digital currency, the new frontier of control. In the name of efficiency, central bank digital currencies are being pushed quietly but swiftly. Central banks worldwide are accelerating plans for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. These would replace physical cash with government-issued, programmable digital money. Every dollar tracked, every cent monitored. They claim it's about modernization and efficiency, but critics argue it gives government an unprecedented level of oversight over every transaction you make. Financial surveillance becomes a feature, not a bug. If physical cash disappears, what happens when dissenting opinions get flagged or punished? When financial freedom depends on political obedience? Inflation pushes us closer to this reality. The more worthless your cash becomes, the more appealing the stable digital alternative appears. Problem, reaction, solution. If your paycheck loses value weekly, you're more likely to adopt whatever solution promises security or efficiency. It's not just convenient, it becomes necessary. It's the classic bait and switch, and elites are betting you'll take it. And once you're in, there's no way out. Even wages aren't part of the manipulation. You may get a raise, but it's wiped out before it hits your account. Real wages decline, and no one seems to notice. Your salary may go up slightly, but never enough to match the real cost of living. That creates dependency on credit, on aid, on government. Your independence is eaten away bit by bit, and that dependency becomes a chain. It limits your freedom, your mobility, even your willingness to speak out. you're too busy surviving to fight back. Meanwhile, politicians leverage the chaos to expand control. Inflation becomes their excuse to implement new regulations, taxes, and redistribution schemes, all wrapped in the language of compassion. More regulation, more surveillance, more reliance on systems you don't control. Bureaucracy grows while liberty shrinks. And while you're distracted by the price of eggs, elites are buying influence. They're rewriting the rules in real time. They fund campaigns, they shape policy, they silence criticism, all while you're busy budgeting for groceries. The system works. For them, this isn't just about dollars, it's about power. Economic pressure is one of the most subtle yet powerful forms of control. And it's working. Let's not forget the media's role. They decide which inflation stories to cover and which to bury. They shape your reality. They downplay the suffering, overstate the gains, and point fingers everywhere but the actual sources. They are the mouthpiece of the status quo, because when you don't know who to blame, you don't know who to resist. Misdirection is their magic trick. Even academia joins the chorus. Economists publish models that downplay inflation's impact on real households. Abstract models justify real pain. These models rarely reflect how real people live. They serve to protect the narrative. The suffering is sanitized, erased, minimized. So how do you fight back? First, get informed. Knowledge is the first weapon. Understand how inflation works and who profits. Second, diversify. Don't keep all your assets in cash. Explore hard assets, precious metals, real estate, or decentralized currencies. Hedge your future. Third, support transparency. Demand that policymakers explain their actions. Hold them accountable. Don't accept excuses. Fourth, question the narrative. Don't trust everything you hear from corporate media. Follow the money, not the script. Don't let inflation become your leash. Recognize it for what it is, a tool. And remember, tools can be broken, chains can be cut. Thanks for watching Factual America. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, subscribe for more fearless content, and let us know in the comments, do you think inflation is being weaponized against us?